Well, I mean, was that even smooth?
Yeah,
Ma-
that's good.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
I feel
it's
like
just B-roll. That's
yeah,
all.
but maybe I should do it differently. You hear the birdies outside, Jay? Jay. Jay. BKFC. The world of pain. The world of blood.
What were the emotions like heading into your first BKFC fight?
Heading into the unknown. Uh, it was, we kind of came into it blindsided. Didn't really know what we were getting into besides a good old fashioned fist fight, no gloves on. Um, Now, this time go around, of course, we have a way more of an understanding of what we're getting ourselves into. Um, you know, when you step into a fight, when you're doing BKFC, like you have to go ahead and kind of accept the fact that you don't really know what may happen, but you have to accept to just endure what will come and believe in yourself to the fullest because without belief, you're going to be on the other end of what you're already kind of thinking about could happen. You see people come in the back room with tons of cuts, just face swollen and stuff. Like you really don't know. I think it's like probably I want to say around 90% of the time with BKFC, you're going to get cut open and stuff. So now I guess having more of an understanding of like be prepared for whatever may happen because it's it's a brutal sport to get yourself into. So yeah, we have just a more of an understanding of what we have to endure and go through now.
Who's your second opponent and how's he different?
Dakota, I think Dakota High Pine, I believe that's his name. I really, same thing I've said in the past on the previous embeddeds is I don't really do a ton of studying on my guys. I watch just enough to get an idea of what's going on because me personally, I like to focus on me and the things that I think I need to focus on to become the best fighter. Um, but from the first fight I had going against Chevy, him being a southpaw, having a hard left hand, and going against now Dakota, I don't know. I kind of feel like Chevy was more of like a tougher opponent, but then again, you can't really say that and think that going into these type of fights. I've heard from other people like, "Oh, Dakota's a tough dude." Dakota's got, he's good. He had a few, tough fights going into BKFC. So all this being said, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to, beat this man's ass. But I kind of want to lean towards. I think Chevy was a tougher opponent, but we're gonna find out here soon. We're less than 4 weeks out, and he's going to be in my hometown in front of all of my people, and it's going to be time to expose this man. I really believe I'm going to end up finishing it before round 3. So that's the game plan for October 26th here in Myrtle Beach, baby. Man, ain't nothing like taking a hard shot and getting sat down. Like in those like boxing movies like Rocky and stuff, like, you get hit and you get sat down and like everything kind of hits you a little bit. Not to get like crazy or anything, but I remember when I got sat down, I got cracked. Didn't really know how I got cracked. In that first round, at the very end of the first round, I got hit with a straight left right here in the face, and I got sat down. And I remember I was like trying to get up. Things were kind of moving around. I got cracked right dead square in the face. And I can take a shot. Like, I really am good at taking some punishment. And I got hit good. And I remember when I got up, my legs were like not moving really properly underneath me. If you watch that video back, you'll see my legs kind of crossing. I was trying to get my footing, and I remember the ref looking at me saying, "Do you want to keep going?" And it was such a surreal moment because this is where a majority of the world quits. And you'll have this voice go through your head of like, I don't know about this. This is crazy. Like, my lip feels like my tooth already went through it. I just got cracked. I don't know if my orbital is broken. There's people just screaming and cussing at me. This whole thing right now is crazy. There's a out. There's a way out in life. I could have easily been like, I'm not good. But once that kind of thought ran through your head, run through my head, I was immediately like, nah, it's time. It's time to tap into me. And that's where it changes. That's where I'm different than other people. Like, I've got something that you have to have in this business. And it doesn't matter really what happens and how far shit goes. I want to be standing there with a tooth missing, with an orbital broken, with a couple of bones in my hand shattered. I'm still right there in your shit because I know my why. And it's just a tough place to be standing across from me now.
What is your why?
My why, me being a dad, me having a daughter and stuff, I want her to see, even in my whole family, I want them to see what we all have. Anybody, even you, whoever's watching this, it doesn't matter who's watching this. Everybody's got this piece in them, but sometimes somebody has to say something to you. Sometimes you can't find it on your own. Sometimes you need to have a good coach. You need to have somebody that's there for you to let you know what you have in you. Everybody has what God gifts in you, but sometimes you've got to dig deeper than the majority of the world does to find out what he's got for you. And it took a long time for me to know what I've got, and knowing that it doesn't matter what you go through, as long as you dig as hard as you can, dig deep as hard as you can, God's got something in store for you. Same thing with, like I just said, got cracked, sat down, said I choose to go forward. And when I pushed myself through that, I ended up getting my hand raised from a KO in the third round. I'm just different. I'm just some dude from North Carolina. I'm just some young skater kid. Like, you would have never expected me to be and do what I do right now. It came from me believing in myself, having a great family, having my dad tell me that I can be anything I want to be as long as I work hard as I can. And it came from all the years of me going through the shit I don't want to go through, but doing it like I want to, doing it like I love it. It's calloused me, and it's turned me into somebody you don't see every single day. So that's why I say, when you watch me fight, when you see me walk, it's, you know, fighting is just a way of showing people what we all have. There's a bigger picture than me just going out there and whooping somebody's ass. I'm showing them that, like, I earned that walk. I earned that fight. I earned what you're looking at through years of me going through shit that I didn't want to go through. But life has its way of framing somebody into who they need to be, as long as you handle it. I handle life. Life doesn't handle me.